Okay. Suleiman, whatever it says. Love you guys. Love what you guys are doing. My question is, can I link Weebly sites to each other? I think I could have sworn I covered this somewhere. I could have sworn I'd covered that one before. Anyway, can I link Weebly sites in a link wheel to power them up? I've done your keyword poking method. I found several keywords and I built Weebly sites for each of them. Now, can I link all the ones in the same niche in the link wheel to get them to rank number one? Thanks. I don't know if that'll get them to rank number one, but yes, you can link them into a link wheel, and that can help. I don't know what your keyword selections are or anything else, but yes, link wheels do work. That's why Google said they didn't work like 8 years ago or something like that, because they do work. So yeah, that's absolutely something that you can do. Again, I don't know what your keywords are or whatever, but you can play around with it and test, right? Monitor the existing, like where it is currently with them not link wheeled together, and then test a linking configuration, right? And monitor, but let it settle. Unfortunately, you have to wait a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks sometimes. I generally recommend waiting 3 weeks to see where, whenever you change stuff like that, to see where it kind of like fully settles in once the dust settles, right? Or the ripples settle, because it's just like dropping a rock in a pond, right? It creates a ripple in the algorithm. And so you kind of got to let all the data settle. And so generally, if I'm going to do something significant, like a structural change or, some kind of major linking kind of scheme or whatever, if I'm going to change the link scheme, then something like that, you kind of got to wait to see where it's going to fully settle. But that's what I would do, is plan that out and see where it is currently, and then do whatever kind of link wheel structure you're going to create and monitor it, but let it sit for a little while to see if it improves the result or if it produces a negative effect. And it can do that, but that sometimes is temporary. That's why I'm saying it can be like a ripple effect. So you can see some volatility, right? Either positive or negative fluctuations. Sometimes you're going to see both. So I say, just let it sit for a little bit, let it kind of marinate, let it settle in. And then you can determine if it made an improvement or if it, was kind of a slide backwards, and then you can adjust and wait again. And that's kind of the game that we play when testing. But I love that you took action on poking keywords and then building out some Web 2.0 sites. That is a great strategy. It works well. I'm going to be doing some more of the Web 2.0 stuff here shortly. I recommend with the rank and rent method that you kind of start with the Web 2.0 assets, because they'll typically rank fairly quickly. But if you already know for sure that you're going to target a particular area, then it does make sense to build the WordPress site or whatever type of primary self-hosted site that you're going to build first, because then that becomes the base that all of your other kind of Web 2.0 assets can be modeled after. And so it's a little bit more logical sequence. If you know that you're going to build a permanent asset, so a self-hosted site, for that areas that you're targeting, then it makes sense to kind of do that first before building out the Web 2s. However, like I said, it's kind of a quick strategy. You can start by just targeting keywords with Web 2s and get really good results. So anyway, I like that you took action and went out and started building stuff right away. That's fantastic.
Bradley, just a quick one, just because somebody's asking a follow-on question to this while we're on it. Do you power up or continue to add content to the Web 2.0 properties?
You can, and that will strengthen them. But it's entirely up to you. If you can get them to rank fairly quickly with little work, then that's good enough. You can always strengthen them, and that helps to keep them hopefully to stick longer, right? So where they won't start to drop in ranking and everything else. So there is something to be said for that. One of the things that we are doing a lot more of now for my own agency clients, and then also for some link building stuff, is that we're populating the branded Web 2.0 assets with long form content. So well optimized long form content. And in fact, we've actually shifted away from publishing supporting content on the main website to publishing supporting content on the branded Web 2.0 blogs instead. You understand what I'm saying? Like for years, my strategy had always been to build a silo structure on the main website and again, I pretty much exclusively do local. So I'm talking about local websites, but I would build a silo structure in it, and then we would publish content consistently, regularly, depending on what the client's retainer was or the agreement was that they had with me. At the very minimum, was 1 blog post per week. Most of my clients were getting like three posts per week. And we just would publish content for years, no kidding. Like, and just we'd always place the supporting content in the appropriate category, and we'd use that as an internal linking opportunity to link back up to the top of Silo page. And all of that worked for many, many years. But things have changed. The algorithms changed a bit, and I've seen that can actually potentially cause some problems because you have too much content on the site that are all kind of targeting the same topic, and so there can be some cannibalization issues and things like that. I've seen that happen with several of my own sites recently, some client sites as well, some of the client sites that we've been publishing on for years. So we've gone in and pruned a lot of that content away. Like we just moved it to trash folder in WordPress and started instead now publishing that same content with the same frequency, but we're doing it now on the branded Web 2.0 blogs instead. So it doesn't potentially cause any cannibalization issues with the main website, if that makes sense. So the follow-up question about Weebly or any Web2s, would you continue to add content to them? Yeah, that's actually really kind of standard operating procedure for my own stuff now. So yeah, and you can make them a lot more valuable and powerful by adding more topical authority to them, right? That was a good question.